What's up guys, Christopher from Mainely Mesh, and today I'm going to be giving you a in-depth review of the Epoch Z1 lacrosse head. So the Epoch Z1 has been out for a little while now. Sometimes it takes new products a little while to catch on, and now with the PLL tearing it up the way they have and Epoch signing a bunch more awesome athletes, the Z1 has been seen a lot more prominently recently, and I wanted to take you guys through it once again. The Z1 holds a special place in my heart because it is the first ever head that I had a little bit more input on, and the first head ever designed around my pocket style. So obviously I'm a little biased, but I'll hopefully be able to give you guys some pros and cons so you can see the pros and cons. When I say it was designed around my pocket style, typically my pocket sits around a mid to mid-low, right? That's where the ball's gonna sit, so you can see the curvature of the sidewall here is right in that bottom third. It's got a nice low sweet spot, long travel time, which is really conducive to pretty much anyone's biomechanics. So what I like a lot about this head is the way it's set up. You can use it at age 8 and you can use it all the way through the PLL. So pretty much all of Epoch's athletes have used this head with this factory strung pocket at some point. Matt Rambo used it for most of the PLL season, and then he started getting some funky dyed ones. Jaron Newman, I think, just tossed around with it once or twice. He has a buddy who strings up his. Henningberg has used it. Malloy has used it. Heacock has used it. Matt McMahon. Long story short, it's been pretty clear that this head can perform at the highest level as well as everywhere in between. And the best part is I was able to set up the factory strung system over at Epoch. So what you get out of the factory is mainly mesh approved and essentially as good of a pocket as you can find anywhere else for just, I think, maybe $10 or $20 extra. I don't know, it's been a while. But overall designed for that specific pocket. The face shape factors a lot into that. Now, if you wanted a true low pocket, you would want a wide face shape up top, pinching down at the very bottom. That would naturally force the mesh to be its deepest right at the throat of the head. What Epoch did here is they kept it pretty tight with a gradual flare up in like that middle section of the head, and that allows the sweet spot of this pocket, which is essentially a 45-degree angle off of that stacked SI, to sit at a very deep point in the head as well. Right? So if you notice where my hand is now, that middle point of the head is right about where that flare begins, and that's very intentional. So it still allows for a very deep, powerful shot, which is why guys who are in the pros have still been able to use this head as well as the young guns. It's a very calculated move on Epoch's part that I really appreciate, and it's why I've been using this head from day one. Scooping this head is great. The only other item of note here is Epoch's new knot lock technology, which is pretty cool. It's essentially these little grooves that allow you to pull the knot a little bit tighter to the head. The stringing holes are perfectly placed. I think there's 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 22. You would think after stringing 4,000 of these, I would know that. 22. But the knot lock is basically a channel on the outside as well as on the inside, if you can see that there. It's just a nice way to guide the string into the pocket. We actually spent a lot of time getting the angles right on this so it wasn't gonna fray your strings, unlike some other attempts at channeling knots that were done completely opposite. Now, the only con here is the durability, right? So Epoch is a design company. This is a gorgeous head aesthetically, in my opinion. It's only one strut. Now, this bulky section down here essentially acts as a second strut, but there's a huge gap up here that honestly has been a little bit problematic. I know since I left Epoch, they've been messing around with the plastic a little bit. I don't have any information on that. The newer heads I've gotten from them have been better, but I wouldn't go into this as thinking it's a durable head by any means. Now, counterpoint, I used this head all during box and didn't break it. So it's one of those things where it had some issues in my experience early on. I don't know if that was just an early run of the head. I haven't broken it in my last box games. But it's also just a little bit more flimsy. So let's say you live down in Texas. It's not the stiffest head. It's not gonna be crazy stiff during the heat. of midsummer, even in mid-fall and winter for you guys. I don't know how you guys handle that. But there's a reason I use it as my gamer, right? It's about as true throwing of a head as you're ever going to experience. I've given this to a ton of guys. Everyone I work with now uses it. A lot of the kids I coach now use it. It's pretty addicting. The first time you throw with it, even just getting a factory strong, you're like, oh, this thing throws lasers. It's spot on accurate. I'm pretty much in love with this head. Obviously, I probably would have tweaked. I would have added a second strut. I don't know how much of a difference that would have made. I'm not the engineer. But it's a pretty incredible head. And if you guys are really any offensive player, I would give it a shot. And here's a pretty looking one, just for fun. But yeah, that's the Epoch Z1. Really awesome, really awesome product from Epoch. Can't wait to see the Z3 and the Z5 when they come out. Those should be coming pretty soon, although they have Gen 10. Oh, are they not calling it? No, it's Dragonfly, it's Select, Pro, Elite, Super, Ultra, Extra, 10 coming out first. But thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, please comment down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, support the Patreon. If you haven't watched that video yet, I will probably link it in this video so you guys can check it out. I probably won't link it. You just gotta see the old video about me explaining the Patreon. But please go support. Thank you guys so much, and I will catch you guys next time.